So how can you comprehend all his works?
That's exactly why he God.
When he formed you in the womb, he knew everything you would think, every move you would ever make. What is that? Free will is a figment of your imagination. That doesn't exist.
So you said we God, right?
You didn't even create yourself.
You said what?
You said we God, right?
We're gods.
We're gods, right?
That's just the title.
We're gods, right?
We're not the God.
We're not the most.
We're gods. Those are attributes.
We're still creators, right?
Hey, what's going on, family? Y'all know your nationality?
Bring it out, and it reads, cry aloud, spare none, lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
That's right, we're not in the library, we're not going to whisper, all right? We're not.
Chapter 22, verse 32. I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living.
Hey, the dead can be our people as well, right? Everybody know about Ezekiel 37.
Y'all love it, right? You love it. All right, let's bring out Leviticus 11 and 9.
This is Leviticus chapters 11 and verse 9. And it says this: These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, and the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
Whatever have both fins and scales in the waters, them shall ye eat. Does a, what do they call it? Does a shrimp have fins and scales? Nope. It only got fins. You said what? They got a what? No, those aren't scales. That's, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, brother, this is for you too. You said you like shrimp, right? The Lord said, yeah, you can't eat it. You going to continue eating it? You sure? You ain't sure. You're not sure if you love God or not?
I be doing like a lot of seafood ways.
See, well, you gotta stop it. We got you. This is what you can't eat that's in the waters.
In verse 10 it says, and all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and in any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. And it says, they shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses an abomination. Keep going. It says, whatsoever have no fins nor scales in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
So what does have both fins and scales? No, what does? Not all fish. Shrimp doesn't have both fins and scales. You got tilapia, big mouth bass, salmon. What else you got? Rainbow fish, rockfish. Those are fish that have both fins and scales. You even got cod and whiting. And they all taste different. And you can all eat it and they're fit for consumption. It's delicious. But shrimp, crab, lobster, calamari, you can't eat it. Those are foul, disgusting animals. The shrimp, they eat doo-doo. They eat the filth of the floor, or the seafloor, that is. Once you split it open, you see that long, nasty brown streak. That's that doo-doo. They call it the poop track. So you heard of that? So whenever you eat shrimp, you got eating that long string of boo-boo in it. See that? Now you can't shoot your threes correctly. You got that in your system. And the brother said you got that what? Shitty shot. See that? And so the Lord is telling us to keep these commandments, not for no reason, because he loves us. He doesn't want us to get jammed up. So y'all gonna eat shrimp?
I don't eat shrimp.
You just saying that?
Nah, I'm for real.
What about you?
Slow it down.
I'm gonna have to slow down before I completely stop. I can't just completely stop eating shrimp.
If your parents tell you to get off that game, you're gonna tell them, I don't know if I can completely stop, Mom.
Slow it down.
I'm gonna slow it down, Mom. That's all I can do.
See, it depends on what it's about. Like stuff like that.
No, this is about the Lord. You gonna tell your creator, I'll try my best to slow it down. No, you wouldn't do that. Same way you wouldn't do that to your parents. We got the picture for you.
Look, brother.
God, I'm trying to get some right 5 and 7. Yeah.
Here.
We going though.
What y'all say? You say you got to what? You say you got to chill out.
You gotta chill out and stop completely.
Get it, King.
Hey, brother in the yellow and the green. If you see him eating shrimp, you gotta get on him. You gotta say, hey, remember what those brothers said? What the Lord said, really? Hey, brother in the blue, you wanna stop completely? Damn. All right, okay, all praises then. And he said it's gonna be on him. That's love. We can only hope and pray. What's going on, brother? What's your nationality?
I don't know.
All praises, all praises. You believe in the Bible? Believe in God? What, somewhat? Yeah.
But I know something about there.
Okay. You know what color the road Jews are? What color are they? Right, right? Where'd you get that information though? From the Bible, right? Well, who claims to be the real Jews? So-called white man, alright? So who's lying?
Just like they claim to be the Egyptians too.
Exactly. So who's lying? The white man or the Bible? It's the white man, right? He's lying. Because he claims to be the real Jews when the scriptures say otherwise. So what else did they lie about? That's the $1 million question. What else did these heathen, what else could they possibly lie about? If they lie about who the real Jews are, they're going to lie about everything else. I'm going to show you something. Bring out Jeremiah 14 and 2.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapters 14 and verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is going up.
Right, Judah. Right, that's one of the 12 tribes of Israel. They're black into the ground. When you dig up the earth, it's going to look very dark. That's the complexion of the earth. Very, very melanated. It's going to look like you, him, all of us up here. It's definitely not going to look pale. That would make no sense. So now we find out the color of the Jews. Although you said, you knew about it and you read it through the scriptures, we're going to bring it out again to pretty much put the nail in the coffin, right? To really, really let you know. You got a precept? Okay, come.
It's Jeremiah chapters 8 and verse 21. For the hurt of the daughter of my people I am hurt. I am black. Astonishment have taken hold of me.
Yeah, he said that plain. I am black. So let's bring out Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Let's start at verse 15. Let's switch it up. Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
It's Deuteronomy chapters 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
All right, this is Moses speaking to his people. Right, saying, hey, if you don't keep the commandments of the Lord, hey, all these curses are going to come upon thee and overtake thee. Go ahead.
And it says in verse 16, cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Who's cursed in the city? Us. You don't see the white man cursed in the city. You don't see him kind of got the finger on his arm, shooting up that stuff in him. All right? He's not writing rap songs about killing and adultery. Bring it out, King.
And it says, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Who was cursed in the field? Was the white man picking cotton in the field? Was he building up the pyramids in the field? Who was? We were. Right? That's a curse. You got it. You can Google the definition of curse, King. You got it. Keep going. Verse 17.
Verse 17. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep.
You got any sheep? Do us as a group of people, do we have any lamb, cattle, cows, chicken? No. Who owns all of that? The so-called white man, because he took it from us. He snatched it from us. That's a curse. You're blessed when you have cattle. You can do a lot of things with that. You understand? Bring out Proverbs 27 and 26. You got it?
Definition too? The sentence good. Cursed, to be damned or to be doomed.
You're damned and or doomed. You understand? So we don't have any cattle, no sheep, no lamb, no goat, and you're doomed. Yeah, that sucks. Because now that means what? Who do you have to go to when you're hungry? We need clothing. We ain't want anything. Who do you have to go to? Dumb. Who's that dumb though? Who's that dumb? Say, I can't hear you. White man? It's a so-called white man, right? You like going to the white man for everything? Do you like it? Let me wake up and go to the so-called white man for my clothes, my underwear, and my socks. That sucks. Name a clothing company. Nike. Who do you think the CEO is? So-called white man, right? He runs Nike. That don't matter. I mean, because that's not what the CEO is thinking. Oh yeah, the black man made this logo. Let me put his people in consideration and give them 50% off on everything. They don't do none of that, right? So we're going to show you a real quick curse. We got you, King, in Deuteronomy 28 and 47. Right? We're going to prove that to you. Why it sucks having no cattle. All right? A lot of people, they don't really, consider that.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 47. It says, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
Now you're going to serve your enemies. Go ahead.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, in thirst,
and hunger. Where you go when you're hungry? You go to Chipotle. You might find yourself at a Walgreens. What's another place? McDonald's. Mickey, Subway, Happy's, Bucharest, Pringles. You go to real quick. I'm gonna answer, but you go to so-called white man when you're hungry, right? All right. So what's your question?
But how can you blame one race on the world suffering?
Well, is this blame or is this facts? Is it an opinion or a fact that the so-called white man runs everything?
Right.
Yeah, it's a fact. I can't look at him as these people, they own everything, all crazy. I can't look at them and say that.
Still other people that own black man.
Yeah, Asian man, the East Indian man. Right, them too.
There's stuff going on over there too.
Right, but the main reason why I said the so-called white man is because, that's the main person that pops in our people's head first.
Yeah, but
right, so you can really understand.
Man, you basically just talking about America.
Okay, yeah, that's what we're talking about, America. You got a problem with that?
No, it's not no problem with that.
Okay.
It's not no problem with that at all.
All right, praises.
I'm just saying, what do this got to do with the whole world?
We're going to show you. Well, first off, we're not worried about the whole world. We're worried about our people. Because guess what?
Our people are around the whole world.
Well, we get that. We understand that. But typically when we say world, they're thinking, okay, all the nations, right? When you think of the world, do you think all the nations are just your people all around the world?
Our people all around the world.
Okay, well, that's nice. But we're going to show you something, too.
I had a point to make. Who runs the earth? What nation? America, brother. America run the earth.
They all together, though. They all work together.
It's like they literally got central banks.
They all are together.
Hold on, okay, they literally got central banks all throughout the country. And if you don't put the central bank, they invade your ass.
You know what NATO is, right?
Yeah. That's also white people.
It's the United States, Russia.
Don't
Organization treaty, if I'm not mistaken.
It's Asia. They all working together.
Yeah, we get that.
But don't the Americans go back?
So it's like, what do they all wear when they go to those meetings? What do they all wear? Shorts. They wear suits. Who started suits? The so-called white man.
That's right.
And the white man, he got his hand up every nation on this earth. Yeah, he got the most influence, like the brother said.
And then the point that I wanted to make, brother, if we brought out any other nation, you wouldn't even be able to relate. Is you under captivity or living in the land of the Chinese people, the Russian people, the Japanese? So if we would have said anything else, you would have been like, oh no, I don't know, I ain't nah. So it's like we trying to help. We'll relate best to our people because chiefly all our people is mainly here in America, between North America and South America. So if we would have said anywhere else, you probably would have had a brain fart. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Chinese people? Nah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, but
That's a good point. Let's finish this verse real quick. This is Deuteronomy 28, 47.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 47. It says, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
And hunger, when you hungry, when you find yourself at McDonald's, Subway, Coney Island, you go to those people, the so-called white man.
Another nation, Chinese food.
You want to go a little bit deeper? You got Chinese food, you got East Indian food places. Right? Go ahead.
It says, in thirst.
In thirst, Dasani, Sprite, Pepsi, Coca. You got some water, oh, that's Pringles, right? But if you're thirsty, guess what? You're going to get some water owned by the so-called white man. What's the name of it? What's the brand? Yeah, owned by the white man.
Right.
Owned by the goddamn white man.
When the water purification plants.
Yeah.
You collect water, you collect rainwater, you'll get a fine and you could go to jail.
Yep.
Just for doing that.
And that's naturally from the earth.
That's sick.
You don't see the Chinese man doing that too.
That's sick.
It says, in nakedness and in want of all things.
In nakedness. But we're talking about what's happening to us in America. Because again, we can bring out the so-called Chinese man and what he did to us. But again, typically you relate to what the so-called white man did to you here in America. And Chinese man, if we really want to go into it, we can get on everybody. Yeah, we can really get on everybody. But right now we're touching the so-called white man.
If you had to be technical, you wouldn't say. If you had to be technical, you wouldn't say that you suffer from Chinese people.
Yeah,
you would say you suffer from white people.
Hold on, we're gonna get on the other nations too.
Just like we playing wrong too.
We can get on the other nations too, but right now we're doing the so-called. Right now we're getting on the so-called white man. We get that.
So we playing wrong with our own suffering.
Hold on, brother. Right now we're going to the so-called white man. That's who we getting on. Right? It's facts that they did all of this stuff to us. We have to acknowledge that. Let's acknowledge that. Hey, the Lord acknowledges that. Right?
Acknowledge that, but y'all can acknowledge that we play a role in it too, right?
Brother, one step at a time. One step at a time. You still got to know your nationality. Brother, we understand, but you still have to know your nationality. You jumping the gun. Bring this up.
Bring it out one more time.
It says, and in nakedness and in one of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed you.
You gotta understand how critical and how heavy this is. He put a yoke of iron upon us until he destroyed us, mentally, physically, and spiritually, to the point where we call ourselves a color out of a crayon box. We rap a street sign. We hate each other. We can't do the easiest thing ever. That's a curse. Tabitha, which people? Us, right? Meaning what? The white man, he can't relate to this book. Because again, every book has a certain audience, right? That audience is those people that can relate to it. Can they relate to it? Nope. Therefore, it's not written for them. It's not written to them. It's written to and for the Israelites, so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because they're thieves.
That's right.
Aren't they known for being a cultural appropriators? That's why that's why in the very beginning, bring out Revelation 2 and 9. Who claims to be the real Jews? The so-called white man. Bring it out.
The book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation.
Right, that's referring to us, right? We already brought out our works and our tribulations of us going through hell in America. Go ahead.
And poverty.
And poverty, because we're impoverished. It is what it is. Go ahead.
But thou art rich.
How can we be rich if we're impoverished? Go to James 2 and 5. How in the hell can we be rich if our pockets got holes in them? Bring it out.
The book of James, chapter 2 and verse 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not God chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith?
Everybody the poor of this world is so-called white man the poor of this world if he runs it? So it'll have to be us. We have to be the poor in this world. So that means the Lord chose us rich. Hold on, brother. Who's the poor? Be real. When you think of poor, you think of the so-called black people. Think of us, because they still got white privilege. No matter how poor they are, they still got white privilege. Bring it up. And if you got white privilege, you rich to me. Go ahead.
That's right.
It says, of this world, which in faith and heirs of the kingdom, which he hath promised to them that love him.
Now we know who's the poor of this earth, right? But still rich in spirit and faith. Let's bring this back to that's like Revelation 2 and 9.
Revelation 2 and 9 from the top. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy.
A lie against God, go ahead.
Of them which say they are Jews and are not.
See that? They're cultural appropriators. They wanted to be the real Jews because they understand when you read this Bible, hey, they're the chosen. God only loves them and nobody else.
That's right.
He sees everybody else as spittle.
That's right.
And if I was so far away, I'd do the same thing. I want to get up in there. I want to be the chosen. Doesn't everybody want to be the chosen? Doesn't everybody want to be like LeBron?
Everybody want to be number one.
Everybody want to be like Michael Jackson. Everybody wants to be the chosen. That's the point.
What make you believe you're not the chosen?
We are the chosen.
We know that.
You're the chosen. We're showing it and proving it to you out the scriptures. The curses that we brought out, again, it only fits you. Making you the what? The chosen. Bring out Deuteronomy 7:6.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6 reads,
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
See, hey, holy means to be set apart. Go ahead.
For the Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
He chose you. What's your name? Elijah. Mighty name. That's a mighty name. And look at that.
To be a special people unto himself. Above all people.
Just a few.
Above all people.
Chinese.
Above all people.
Above all people. Go ahead.
That are upon the face of the earth.
Bring out Sirach 33:7. He chose you to be above all people. That's what you call favoritism. Hey, you got your favorite pair of everything's, right? Your favorite color, your favorite pair of shoes, your outfit. We all got favorites. So why can't the Most High have favorites?
Right.
Bring it out.
The book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 7. Why doeth one day excel another?
Jump down at 9.
Verse 9. Some of them have eaten.
10.
Verse 10. It say, and all men are from the ground.
Right.
And Adam was created of earth. In much knowledge the Lord have divided them.
He divided them. If I love everybody, why would I divide them up? Bring it up.
And made their ways diverse.
Woo! And we all meant to be the same, hand in hand. And why did he make our ways diverse?
Right.
Because the Lord's not with unity. He's not with that.
That's right.
Because how can one person be chosen when everybody's the same?
Ain't no chosen.
Yeah, ain't no chosen in. It make no sense. Bring it up.
Right.
It says their ways diverse. Some of them have been blessed and exalted.
Some are blessed and exalted in this earth. And what?
And some of them have been sanctified and set near himself.
Who was sanctified and said near himself? Who's the holy? Who's the chosen? Who's the set apart people? We brought it out in Deuteronomy 7:6. We're going to bring it out one more time in the book of Sirach, the 17th chapter. It's like the 18th chapter in the 4th verse. Right then, I got a question for you. Bring it out, King.
This is the book of Sirach, chapters 18 and verse 4. To whom have ye given power to declare his works? And who shall find out his noble acts? Who shall number the strength of his majesty? And who shall also tell out his mercies? As for the wondrous works of the Lord, there may nothing be taken from them.
Right.
Neither may anything be put unto them. Neither can neither can the ground of them be found out. When a man have done, then he beginneth. And when he leaveth off, then he shall be doubtful. What is man?
Now jump up to verse 3. That's what I want.
Verse 3, it says, who governeth the world with the palm of his hand.
The world is in the palm of his hand.
In all things obey his will. For he is the king of all, by his power dividing holy things among them from profane.
He divided the holy things from among them which are profane. We're the holy. It said that in Deuteronomy 7:6. That makes what? The so-called white man unholy. The Asian man unholy. East Indian man unholy. African man unholy.
Right.
Hawaiian man unholy. They're unholy. I didn't make that up. I didn't wing it. This brother didn't write it last night. This brother didn't tweet about it, just made it up all on the spot. Hey, this been here from the beginning. Bring it out.
It says, but some of them have been cursed and brought low and turned out of their places, as the clay is in the potter's hand, to fashion it as his pleasure.
So who was cursed? We were. Was everybody cursed? No, everybody can't be cursed, because again, you got the rich of the earth. So is it a good thing to be cursed or a bad thing? Bad thing. It's a terrible thing. So the next question we should really be asking, like, why did he get cursed? What did we do to deserve us? Why are we being shot left and right on the streets? Why are the fathers leaving the children? Why is the mother killing the daughters? Why are the brothers killing each other by selling them weed and drugs, destroying their own temple? The Bible tells us. This is the book that they want to hide from you. These are the precepts and the verses that they're not going to bring out to you in church. This is the truth.
When was this book found?
When was it found? Bring out John 1:1.
The book of John, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Bring it out. Look at the sword. Nope.
The book of John, chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
In the beginning, the Word was with God. Hold on, what's the Word? Who's the Word? Let's bring it out.
47.
This is the book of Psalms, chapters 40 and verse 7. And it says, Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me. I delight to do thy will, O my God, yet thy law is within my heart.
Hey, how about Shemi Awashai? And he's been here from the beginning. The Heavenly Father who the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, weird other titles. His real name is Yahweh. And his son, who is Christ, who we're ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, his true name is Yahweh. He's the Word, right? And he's been here from the very beginning. Even the Heavenly Father, the Ancient of Days. But before we get too deep and going off the loose end, when was the book? Again, the Word's been from the beginning. Because
What's the exact book found? When was it made?
Bring out Sirach 3 and 21, and you can bring out Genesis 7 and 2.
In the book of Sirach, chapter 3, verse 21, and it reads thus: Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength.
Similarly to what we read in Sirach, the 18th chapter, certain things are just beyond our finding out. If you want to know the exact time, date, century, or even circa, hey, that's like here and there a little. Nobody's going to actually know the definitive date. But
that's what proves it true.
That's what so-called white man told you.
Right.
He told you that's what proves something to be true, to know the exact time, date, and the circle. But guess what? Everything. Wait. But check this out. Everything that we read to you. So hold on. Everything that we read to you thus far, did we have to prove a date and bring out the date and the time and the century for us to know that this is true? No. See that?
Why not though?
Brother, again, you missing the point. Everything we brought out.
I'm not missing the point. I'm getting what you're saying.
So everything that we brought out to you, it's above the time and the date and the year. It's above all of that. Once you know all this stuff that continue to bring it out through the Spirit, you damn, this is deep. The time and the date, that's no matter. Because this surpasses the time, date, and when this was done and when that was done. The brother got a precept for you.
It's the book. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 4, and verse number 2. And said, Thy heart hath gone too far in this world, and thinkest thou to comprehend the way of the Most High.
Woo! That's right. That's what I was going to get to. That's the Spirit. Hey, that's the Spirit.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 9 and verse 10. And the Lord delivered unto me 2 tables of stone, written with the finger of God, and on them was written according to all the words which the Lord spake with you in the mount out of the midst of fire in the day of the assembly.
Hey, see that? Hey, bring that out again because I wanted to get that. But you got a point?
Yeah.
All right. Now you asked points of like, you had a question basically saying, how old is the Bible? When we went to school, did we ask how old was that mathematics book? How old was that social studies book? Of course. But when we come with thus saith the Lord, everybody asks, who made that book? Where did that come from? They never asked, how did the Quran get made? This dirty, unholy Quran book. How did this get made? Where did this come from? How old is this book? When we went to the stores, we bought like snacks, like who made the honey bun? How old is the honey bun? We never ask those things, but every time we come with the truth, everybody want to know what's the origins of it.
Why don't we question it though? That's my question.
That's a good question.
Why don't you question the white man?
Why don't you question the things that the white man created?
Because they just tell us. We listen to what we are told. That's why. We listen to everything we are told. Since we born, we listen to everything we told. We don't. But kids question everything. When you a child, you question everything until you programmed to just know everything that you know.
All right,
and you stuck in your way.
I'm going to answer the question. We got you, King. Bring out 2nd Ezra 4, 14 and 2. We got you.
14 and 2 or
14 and 2.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapters 14 to verse 2. And it says, And I said, Hear am I, Lord. And I stood upon my feet. Then said he unto me, In the bush I did manifestly reveal myself unto Moses, and talked with him, when my people served in Egypt. And it says, And I sent him and led my people out of Egypt, and brought him up to the Mount of Sinai, where I held him by a long season.
Right, this is where he's accumulating all this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Go ahead.
And it says, and told him many wondrous things.
Many wondrous things. Go ahead.
And showed him the secrets of the times.
Even the secrets, the dark parables, the dark sentences. Go ahead.
In the end. And commanded him, saying, these words shalt thou declare.
Some of these words you're going to make known and make it black and white, plain upon tables. And what?
And these shalt thou hide.
Hey, some words, he's going to hide. Now the Lord could have very well told Moses, put the date. I'll start the date at this time and this hour. And the Lord didn't, he didn't want Moses to do all of that because it wasn't expedient. It just wasn't necessary at the time. Because the prophecies, the curses that we're bringing out to you, and this is the deepest thing ever. Again, I'm going to say it again, this surpasses the time and want to know the date when it was all written. Because something that was written thousands of years ago, regardless of the exact time, we know it still happened.
And then when you think
because
about
we're living it.
Oh, my bad.
You got it.
The Bible just means many books. You know what I'm saying? Before it was put together and publicized for us to understand it, it was scrolls. Many prophets was writing events in the times that they were out, they were scribing the things that happened in those events. And they put all those together to make one book. Wasn't it like 1611? The first Bible, 1611.
That was
King James. He put everything together, had it publicized for everybody to understand it because the Lord set it up that way. If I was to sit there and say Shalom, Malak, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshua, Barakatah, would you understand what I'm saying? No. That's Paleo-Hebrew. So that's why he put it in English, because he knew where we were going to go into captivity at, we were going to need this in our understanding, in the tongues that we were in our captivity to understand, to get the understanding of who we are.
I got a point too.
I want to make over here what the brother said too, as far as different prophets writing the different things at different time periods. You got certain prophets during when we was a kingdom. You got certain prophets during the Persian captivity, during this captivity, that captivity. But it all combines to make one cohesive story. That's impossible. I can't. My great-great-great-great-grandfather shouldn't be able to write visions that I love them. This person wrote visions and it all coincide and make one whole tale. That's the divinity of the scriptures, man. How did Isaiah write stuff that would match up with what Ezra was bringing out? How? How is it possible? Because it's divine. Right? So I just wanted to bring that out with the brother saying it's different stuff written at different time periods. And it all still link up to one Bible in a spiritual way. It's really deep, man. Like the brother trying to bring out, it's deeper than a date, man. It's really deep. Like the brother's bringing out stuff written thousands of years ago that matches our history to the T. Show me another document that do it.
Certain prophecies have dates in the Bible.
Yeah, that's
Exactly. So why don't the book have the date?
The book is from the beginning.
Yeah, we brought it out earlier. That's John 1:1.
Then when is the beginning?
Brother, that's
Right, and that's why
that's
you
too
go
deep for you.
into a stomach.
You don't want to know when to be. We'll all get back out if we try to sit down when's the beginning. How do you calculate the beginning of something? It's too hard. You know.
You take the uncle.
That's still one.
Yeah, you got the uncle, man.
Sirach, chapter 43 and verse 27. We may speak much, yet come short. Wherefore in some he is all.
Hey, bring that one more time. Let's break it down.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 43 and verse 27. We may speak much and yet come short.
If we're going to come short of certain things, yeah, we can kind of talk about it and have a dialogue, and we're still going to come short because we'll never truly know a whole lot of things. Go ahead.
Wherefore in some he is all.
See that? So again, to sum it all up, the Most High didn't want us to know, and that's okay. There's a lot of things the Most High didn't want us to know. Where the Leviathan is, how many stars in heaven, the 7 hills, certain things in Daniel. It's just certain things that we're just not going to be able to know. But that's okay because the things that we have now before us, it's more than enough. And you connecting with something that was written thousands of years ago, and that's deep. That's more than enough. You believing off of precepts and verses that you never heard before. You just believe it like, damn, that's true, that's facts, that's history. I'm living it. That's deep in itself.
I got a precept.
In the book of Sirach, chapter 43, verse 32, and it reads thus.
That's the classic.
There are yet hid greater things than these be, for we have seen but a few of his works. So what's that saying is, there's things that's not even written here that's going to come to pass. And we don't know, because it's hid. But when that time be, we gon' know. And we only seen a few of his works. We seeing the white man being rich, that's a few. So if he's a trillionaire or gazillionaire, that's nothing but crumbs he got compared to what we gonna get.
Woo. Tell him, King. Tell him.
That's right, brothers. Bringing out the precepts.
This the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9 and verse 16. It say, and hardly do we guess aright at things that are upon earth. So man barely could guess the right thing with things up amongst the earth. So how much more trying to search out the beginning, the Most High? You'll never get it. It says, and with labor do we find the things that are before us, but the things that are in heaven who have searched out. So basically the point is you can't search out nothing that's far beyond and above you. Trying to figure out when the actual beginning is.
Then why believe it?
Because you know it's here. Can't you see it? Look at it. The earth been here. The Lord been created the earth from the beginning. And it's still damn here. That's from the beginning. You wasn't here when the beginning of the earth was created. But you here, ain't you? Hey, don't you see the moon to start? But you right. So you ain't asking, well, why do I believe the moon right? Because you was right here. And it's been here way before you was ever thought of. You not asking, you don't ask the white man none of these things. So you gotta humble down and accept the fact that you never gonna get it to that deep extent. And the Most High, when people try to do stuff like that, the Most High just blank your damn mind. Because what are you doing? What are you doing? Nah, you ain't worried about the white man blanking your mind, but hey, look, the Most High blank your mind, and you're done. You're done. Well, you go ahead and get your, I got one more though.
Psalms 139, somebody can get it for me. Psalms 139 and 6.
The book of Psalms, chapter 139, right? And verse 6.
And I got to make a point on that too.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 139 and verse 6.
Bring it out.
It reads, such knowledge is too wonderful for me.
What David say?
Such knowledge is too wonderful for me.
So it's certain knowledge that is too deep for you, brother. You might bug the hell out. Yes. You might not even understand this stuff. You might explode or implode if the Lord told you everything that he did. That's right. It will bug your mind out. But bring it out.
It is high. I cannot attain unto it.
If you knew how the Lord created the waters, how he holds still the waters, how he holds the firmament, somebody get Job 30. I believe it's like 38 or 48 or something.
Read that out, man.
Right? If you understood all the stuff and the knowledge that the Lord has in heaven, you wouldn't be able to contain that. Your mind wouldn't be able to contain it. Because we don't have the right bodies to contain all the knowledge that the Lord gave us.
I got it. What you want to say?
These bodies are
not so right, but Job 38.
The Lord got to give us right bodies so we can understand everything that he created.
Wow, what's the right body?
It's too deep. It's probably too deep.
That's a little too deep.
But our spiritual body, the perfect body, and that's in heaven, bro.
And brother, you gotta understand this, brother. Like I said, it make your head explode. You dealing with an entity that never was created. He just always been here. That alone, they'll make your head explode. We can't even comprehend that. You never had a beginning. You just always been here. Try to think about that. What do you think about when you think never having a beginning, but you just always been here? It make your head like, what the hell? How's that even? You understand time was created for man? The Lord created time just so we could understand things and put it in perspective. That's how deep he is. Every thought you ever had in your life, he programmed from the beginning of time. That's how deep the Lord is. Do you understand that? He created all our thoughts. He's gonna bug you out, bro. That's how he God. That's how. So how can you comprehend all his works?
That's exactly why he God.
When he formed you in the womb, he knew everything you would think, every move you would ever make. What is that? Free will is a figment of your imagination. That doesn't exist.
So you said we God, right?
You didn't even create yourself.
You said we God, right?
We're gods.
We're gods, right?
That's just the title, though.
We're gods, right?
We're not the God. We're gods. Those are attributes.
We're still creators, right? Right.
That's that mysticism.
Right.
So,
right. If
we can have a kid, but guess what? Who gives us that kid the Most High?
Exactly. Spirit. He created the sperm within your testicles. Who created sperm? Who created sperm? The Most High, brother.
That's Judges 13 chapter.
Brother, who created the
That's
egg?
what you take it
Who formed? Does a woman got to think to herself, okay, it's time for me to drop my egg, or does it happen?
You just
have you ever seen a pregnant woman, brother? You understand that bones grow in the body, brother?
Hey, bring that out in Ecclesiastes 11 chapter.
Who does that, brother?
I'll bring it out.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? That's
11, 5.
Bro,
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11 and verse 5. As thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit.
We don't even know what we're going to do tomorrow. So what makes us think we got to know everything else? So what we going to do the next second? I may say I'm going home to eat some pizza. Most I change my mind and make me eat some damn sushi. Bring it up.
It say, and thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child.
And like the brother said, it just happened. It just happened. It just happened. The endocrine system, it just do its thing. And the liver kind of just filter out all the fast. It just do it.
It says, even so, thou knowest not the works of God who maketh all.
We're not going to know it. Now we can't, Lord, tell me this date and time, and really, hey, the miracles, the prophecies that we see now, if that's not enough proof in the pudding, I don't know what is. I can taste the proof in the pudding.
I got a cool point. But all those unanswered questions shows you that there is a higher power. All those unanswered questions shows you that there is a God. Really. And you, because you can't answer, brother. Can you? That's why I'm asking the questions.
And the white man try to play God and tell you all these BS. Because how he know it's billions of years old? Get the hell out of here.
Like, how many hairs on your head? Can you count that? The most I can, though, but we can't. And if we try to count how many hairs on our head, we gonna be all cuckoo for cocoa puffs. Hair gonna be cool. No, we ain't gonna know what's going on.
We got another one for you, real quick.
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 4 and verse 11. How should thy vessel then
be able to comprehend? So like, I'm going to start from the beginning. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 4, verse 11. How should thy vessel then be able to comprehend the way of the highest? And the world being now outwardly corrupted, to understand the corruption that is evident in my sight.
That's plain. That's plain.
That's a damn dagger. So it's basically saying God wants us to be ignorant of their knowledge.
Brother, first of all, hold on.
I'm asking.
I know you're asking out of sincerity. I know. There's no wrong with that. But
I'm just curious. That's all.
I don't know. We get you. Hey, Khan, to answer it shortly, Khan. Certain things most I just doesn't want us to know. And that's okay. And that may be hard. I'm not saying you're saying it's hard, but that could be like, wow. Yeah,